Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews. Today we are taking a look at a 2018 Papo figure, and it is this guy. This is the brand new Iguanodon, and it is a beauty of a figure. I am in love with it. It is probably the best Iguanodon that I own, or at least it's definitely up there. I can't say for sure that it's the best one, but it's definitely one of the top figures. And it is really nicely done. As with all Papo figures, Papo never ceases to impress me. The one thing that I always am impressed with is just how natural and real looking they can get their color schemes to look. Just not even taking into account the amount of sheer detail that is in this figure, but just like I said, the paint schemes are always so real and just so natural looking to me. They just look like it could be the way the dinosaur really looks, and this one is no exception. Again, they did a beautiful job on the paint of this figure, but as far as sculpt and detail goes, let's take a closer look. So starting up here at the head, you can just see that the detail is just insane on this. Look at these little scales all over the side of the head. They are just immense. There's just tons and tons of scales, and they are all sorts of different sizes, so much work went into just the sculpt of the head. You can see the eye has a white background to it, but on top of having that white background, actually has a brown eye, but then a black pupil, so it's a little hard to pick up. I'll try to get close here. It's probably the best I'm going to get it for you guys. You can see kind of right there, but it's very small, so it's insanely impressive to me that they were able to do that with this figure. That looks very nice. You can see the nostrils are sculpted on the top of the head, and they have a difference in coloration around the nostrils to really help elaborate them, help them stand out. You can see the beak here looks very good. There's a nice wash that's been put on it. You can see that it really brings out the detail and sculpt work in the mouth. It looks very good. I love that. I like the coloration of it as well. The entire coloration, like I said before, of this dinosaur is really beautifully and realistically done. It does have an articulated jaw, but it's actually very hard to open. I really have to force it open. It's not easily open, and then again, when I let it go, it just kind of closes on its own. I don't know if maybe if I wedged something in his mouth and just kept it open for a little while, if it would help to open the mouth and allow it to stay open. I don't know. But you can see that there is a tongue in there. Before the mouth closes, you'll get a quick glance. So the detail and stuff on the inside, you can even see the teeth up there. It's really nicely done when you can get a view of it. But unfortunately, it doesn't stay open very well for me on this figure. But I think it looks okay. I've heard a lot of people complain about the articulated jaw on this and just saying that it doesn't look very good. If I hold it here, maybe it'll stay. Sort of. But I honestly don't really dislike it at all. I think it looks pretty good. It could be a little better. I mean, you now have an awkward seam here that you can notice on both sides, but I don't think it's quite as bad as a lot of people make it out to be. I think it still looks pretty good. Just doesn't really work too well. And if you open it wider, you can now see that it's now disconnected on the inside. But if you open it to about that height, or that distance I should say, it looks pretty good in my opinion. And then coming back the neck here, you can see beautiful detail as always. Lots and lots of sculpt work have gone into the neck. Some nice skin folds and stuff. A little bit of extra hanging skin here on the underside of the head and neck area. Chest is really nicely sculpted as well. And coming down here into the shoulder blades, you can really see those shoulder blades. They're very elaborated. Nice muscle tone here in the arms. Very nice muscle tone. And again, those scales are beautifully sculpted all over. Very nicely sculpted Iguanodon hands. They've got that signature claw there, which has all sorts of different tones to it. Really makes it look very real to me. Love the way they've done that. I also really like the coloration of the hands and the dark wash that's been put all over it. Brings it to life so much. It makes it just look like an absolutely real dinosaur. I love the skin here being pulled from the body. Nice attention to detail as to how the body would actually look with the dinosaur's movement. Beautiful little skin folds here. I also like that the skin is bunched up right here, as this leg here, the left leg, is coming forward. It would be pushing the skin and stuff. You can see it's squished in there a little bit. The skin of the stomach, because it's a little bit of a beefy Iguanodon, so the skin would be pushing up like that. Looks very good. Nice skin folds all the whole way up into the hip bone. The hip bone is very large and elaborated. It looks very nicely done. And again, right there, that skin folding there is such a good touch. Beautiful realism to this figure, and the muscle tone is really significant in this leg. Look at that calf muscle, it's huge. And I just love the way the coloration on this changes as you go down the leg. So beautifully done. Sculpt work again is very nicely done. That beautiful wash put down here on the foot. You can see the nails are painted nicely, and they also have a little bit of different shading done to those as well. Even the underside of the foot is a slightly different color than the rest of the animal. It makes it just look so real to me. Everywhere you look on this, it just looks fantastic. And then this beautiful coloration going down the tail here, just to give it that little bit of a striking appearance with those stripes. And then the sculpt work again is wonderful the whole way out. I think the only thing that Papo would really need to do is maybe start including a cloaca on their figures like Collect Day does. And they might be able to fool me into thinking it's an actual miniature-sized real living dinosaur. Looking here at the other side, again, beautiful sculpt work on both sides. The arms look very nicely done. Hands look beautiful as well. And again, you can see the difference as far as the skin goes. You can see the skin is pulling a little bit, but it's not quite as elaborated as the other side was, as this leg isn't as far forward. But you can see as this leg is pulling back, again, the skin being pulled here. It's so beautifully done. The sheer detail on this is just incredible. Lots of nice skin folds here in the stomach region, the lower stomach. More very nice muscle tone, and again, that hip bone is nice and elaborated there. Scales are all different sizes, and again, you can see the coloration change as we go into the legs. Beautifully sculpted foot. I'm sorry the tag is still on there. I haven't taken that off yet. An idea of how nice that looks. And then coming up here again into the tail, looks beautiful everywhere. The upper side also looks very, very nice, and as does the underside, the underbelly. Looks beautiful. So fantastic job as far as the sculpt of this dinosaur goes. So Papo has done an incredible job on this Iguanodon. It has definitely exceeded my expectations as far as the sculpt goes, because the sculpt is just beautiful. There is just so much attention to realistic detail as far as the body motion of this dinosaur goes. You could just see so much that you wouldn't even consider in sculpting a dinosaur to make this thing look just that little bit more real. As far as the size goes, it is definitely a large figure. It's almost 9.5 inches, between 9.25 and 9.5, and as far as the height, looking at about the highest point, almost 4.5 inches, in between 4.25 and 4.5 inches. So it's a pretty big figure. For a size comparison, there is Mr. Papo T-Rex next to Miss, I will call her, Papo Iguanodon. But either way, beautiful figure. You can see a very nice size comparison here. You can see just how large the Iguanodon figure actually is. So you can get a good idea of the sheer size of it. It is a nice size figure. So if you have ever wanted a very, very nice Iguanodon figure, I think Papo just made that figure for you. As far as realism and realistic detail, coloration and all that goes, this one is awesome. And another very cool factor of this figure is that I think it bears a very good resemblance to Aladar of the dinosaur movie from Disney. I'm sure a lot of people have noticed that. So if you want a very realistic looking version of Aladar from the Disney's dinosaur movie, this is probably your way to go. So this is my second of the 2018 lineup for Papo, and that is definitely another surefire win on their part. They have yet to make a figure that I'm unimpressed with that I've reviewed. These are 2 for 2 as far as the 2018 lineup for Papo goes. I recently looked at the Therizinosaurus, and I said that one it'd be very hard for somebody to be able to beat that, or at least as far as Papo goes, to be able to beat that figure. And this Iguanodon, although beautiful, I don't think it's better than the Therizinosaurus, but as far as a Iguanodon goes, this thing is just as top-notch as you're gonna find. In my humble opinion, I think this thing is just beautiful. Everything about it, the ridiculous amounts of detail and the coloration, all of it. The sculpt work, it just has such a beautiful look to it. The only bad downside is the mouth. The articulated jaw does not work very well for me. I don't know anybody else, if you have purchased this figure, if you have that same issue. I don't know if maybe it's just limited to my figure and it's not like a widespread thing. I'm hoping it's not for anyone else that has ordered this. But yeah, mine has just got a little bit of an issue with this articulated jaw. And a lot of people, like I said, don't like the articulated jaw on this toy. I think it's pretty nice. I don't mind it at all. So it looks good in my opinion. Definitely a very beautiful dinosaur model. If you want to pick yours up, I'll link you guys right in the description to everythingdinosaur.com, where I purchased mine. An absolutely awesome website to order dinosaur figures from. So go ahead and check the description. I can't recall the price off the top of my head as to what I paid for it, but I'll have it in the description for you guys, and then you can head over there, buy it yourself, and enjoy this beautiful 2018 Papo Iguanodon. So please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.